my name is Yoshik Desai. Welcome to GST Solution. Friends, in our earlier video, we have discussed the provision with respect to filing of outward supplies, filing of inward supplies, as well as furnishing of return under Section 39, that is Form GSTR 3B. Friends, today we are going to cover Section 40 to Section 42. Along with Section 40 to 42, we will also try to cover Rule 69 to Rule 72. These all sections and set of rules will let us know the process of matching of inward supplies with the outward supplies. Friends, it is a basic principle under GST that all the input tax credit which the recipient of supply of goods or services is claiming in Form GSTR 3B will have to be exactly matched with the corresponding outward supply by the supplier of goods and services. Otherwise, that input tax credit will not be eligible as an input tax credit, and hence it will not be allowed to be adjusted against the output tax liability which the recipient will have to pay at the time of furnishing his GSTR 3B. Friends, Section 40 talks about first return. Now, what do you mean by the first return? Friends, all the registered person who have enrolled himself under GST will have to furnish a first return. It means when a registered person crosses the threshold in a given period of time or in any particular year, then the moment when he crosses the threshold and he is required to take the registration under GST. That means, friends, after taking GST registration, he will have to furnish his first return. When a person crosses the threshold, then within 30 days he will have to take registration. He will have to make the application for registration under GST. That means, friends, today, say for example, I have crossed the threshold limit and hence today I will be required to take registration under GST. However, the timeline for registration says that from the date of so eligible, that is from the date of crossing of the threshold, I can apply for the registration within 30 days. Let's say for example, XYZ, a company manufacturer of automobile parts. Let us assume that during the year, the turnover of company was less than 50 lakhs rupees and hence he was not liable to take registration under GST. During a particular year, when he crosses the threshold limit, he will then be required to take registration under GST. That is, from the date when he becomes so liable, he will be eligible to make application for registration under GST. From when the company will have to start declaring the sales, declaring the supplies, that is from the date when he gets the registration certificate in his hand or from the date when he becomes so liable to take registration. So Section 40, which says the first return, all the registered person will have to furnish the details of outward supplies from the date he becomes so liable to register under GST till the date when he gets the final registration certificate in hand. It means, friends, if today I am eligible for taking registration under GST, then from today itself I will have to report my all outward supplies in my first GSTR1 return, that is GSTR return of outward supplies. So friends, this is a specific provision for Section 40. Now Section 41 says that claim of input tax credit and provisional acceptance thereof. And friends, we had already discussed that every claim of input tax credit which the registered person is claiming in his return is a provisional credit. It becomes final only when there is a separate communication from department or from the authorized officer that the claim of input tax credit has been accepted and it has been matched with the corresponding outward supplies as per the return declared by the supplier. Now friends, these provisional input tax credit which the registered person is claiming in his GST return can be utilized for payment of the self-assessed tax, that is the output liability which the registered person have self-assessed and is liable to pay for that particular month. So from the provisional input tax credit which the registered person is claiming, that provisional input tax credit can only be utilized towards making payment of output tax liability. So these are the provisions under Section 41. Now we will move to Section 42, which says that matching, reversal and reclaim of input tax credit, in which subsection 1 says that every claim of input tax credit, that is every claim of input tax credit under Section 41, the provisional input tax credit will have to match with the corresponding outward supplies made by the supplier. That is, all the invoice-wise details, all the invoice-wise input tax credit which the registered person is claiming, which the recipient is claiming as an input tax credit in his return, will have to exactly match with the return as furnished by the supplier of goods and services. Only upon the perfect matching of these two invoices on the GST portal, this input tax credit will be known as an eligible input tax credit and will be further eligible to be set off against the output tax liability. Friends, once this input tax credit will be accepted, then a communication in this respect has to be automatically flowed on the online portal to the supplier of goods as well as to the recipient of goods that this transaction is eligible transactions, and hence the input tax credit is allowed in full to the recipient of the goods and services. Where this input tax credit does not matches, say for example, when the recipient have claimed the input tax credit in excess of what has been declared by the supplier of goods and services, or let's say for an example, if the recipient have claimed the input tax credit of invoice number 1 received from XYZ, a supplier of goods and services, but XYZ Limited, that is a company, a supplier, fails to report such transaction in his outward supply, then this transaction, this input tax credit will not be eligible to the recipient of goods and services, and hence a communication in this respect has to flow to the supplier of goods and services as well as the recipient of goods and services as to this transaction is not matched on the online portal. Friend, it may also be possible that from the same invoice, that is from invoice number 1 in our example, the recipient of goods and supply by mistake have claimed the input tax credit twicely, that is a duplicate claim of input tax credit. In such circumstances also, GST portal will check the transactions and GST portal will flow automatic mail or automatic notice to the recipient of goods and services that this claim is a duplication and input tax credit will not be allowed in such respect. After giving an automatic response, after giving an automatic notice to the supplier of goods or the recipient of goods and services, if the supplier or the recipient does not take any action for rectification, then such amount of input tax credit or the such amount of tax will have to be added as an output tax liability in the next return which the recipient is required to be filed. In case of duplicate claim also, when the recipient will receive an automatic message from the GST portal that this invoice has been claimed twicely, and if the recipient has not taken any action, then such amount of input tax credit will be added to the output tax liability of recipient in a particular month, and it will have to be paid along with the other liability which is self-assessed by the recipient at the time of filing of return. However, friends, if the supplier on the basis of communication received from the GST portal makes the correction in the invoice, make the necessary rectification in the invoice, then the amount of the output tax liability which the recipient have paid will have to be reduced. That is, in subsequent month, the recipient will reduce his output tax liability to that extent for which the supplier had made the necessary correction, and a communication in this respect will flow to supplier as well as to the recipient of goods and services. However, friends, in case of subsection 5 or subsection 6 of section 42, when there is an increase in output tax liability or when the recipient have increased his output tax liability due to communication received by the GST portal on account of mismatch or duplication, such amount of output tax liability or pending tax will have to be paid along with the applicable interest at the rate of 18% as per subsection 1 of section 50 of CGST Act 2017. Friends, after making a payment along with the interest, if the supplier of the goods have made the rectification in the invoices, then such amount of interest which is paid by the recipient or the supplier will be refunded to the recipient or the supplier of goods and services. Friends, it has been also stated that if the recipient of goods and services have malafidely disclose that the supplier have done the rectification, that is, if the recipient of goods and services have in contravention to the provision of subsection 7 of section 42 had given information that the supplier of goods and services have rectified the transactions and have claimed the input tax credit, then in such a cases such amount of input tax credit will not be eligible. It will have to be added to the output tax liability of the recipient, and it will have to be paid along with the interest at the rate of 24% per annum as specified in subsection 3 of section 50 of CGST Act 2017. So friends, these were the provisions for matching of input tax credit, first return and the reversal of input tax credit, that is section 40 to section 42. Along with section 40 to section 42, it is very important for us to understand what are the prescribed set of rules and in which form this automatic communication from GST portal will flow to the supplier as well as to the recipient of goods and services. Friends, it is very important for us to understand what all matching process, what all are the criteria for doing the matching, for doing the reconciliations of invoices on the basis of suppliers and as well as on the basis of the recipient. So friends, rule 69 says that on the basis of the information supplied, on the basis of return furnished by the supplier, and on the basis of input tax credit which is claimed by the recipient of goods and services, the portal will check GST number of both the parties. It will also check invoice number, invoice date, tax amount, debit note number or debit note date if any. So these are the criteria. If all these conditions are specified, if all the information as furnished by the supplier or the recipient is okay, is perfect, then in such a cases such input tax credit will be allowed and communication in this respect will automatically flow to the supplier of goods and services as well as the recipient of goods and services. Friends, wherein the case where the deadline for GSTR 1 and GSTR 2, that is the furnishing of outward supplies as well as furnishing of inward supplies, has been extended, it will be deemed that the deadline for furnishing form GSTR 3B has also been increased, and such a power has been given to the Commissioner of Goods and Service Tax to increase the deadline for filing of the return, that is form GSTR 3B. Friends, it is also stated in the provision to Rule 69 that where the recipient of goods and services have claimed less input tax credit as declared by the supplier, then in such a case it will be deemed that such input tax credit is matched and a communication in that respect will flow to the recipient. Friends, it is also stated that where the recipient of goods and services have downloaded the 2A, that is form GSTR 2A, and by accepting in form GSTR 2A, if such input tax credit flows from GSTR 2A to GSTR 2, in such cases also it will be deemed that that is a final input tax credit and it is a eligible input tax credit, and a communication in this respect will flow to the recipient of goods and services. Rule 70 says about final acceptance of input tax credit and a communication thereof. A final acceptance of input tax credit as claimed under subsection 2 of section 42 shall be given and shall be communicated to the recipient of the goods and services in form GST MIS 01 if for the previous month there is a mismatch and in current month the recipient or the supplier have made the necessary correction, then a communication in this respect will also be flow to both the parties in form GST MIS 01. It means, friends, all the input tax credit which the recipient is claiming has to be perfectly matched with the corresponding sale invoice which the supplier is declaring in his monthly return, that is GSTR 1. Unless it is not matched, then this input tax credit will not be eligible as a final input tax credit to be claimed by the recipient and to be adjusted against the output tax liability in the subsequent month. Friends, Rule 71 says that communications of rectification of discrepancy in claim of input tax credit and reversal of claim of input tax credit. It has been specifically said that if there is any discrepancy as per subsection 3 and subsection 5 of section 42, then the recipient or the supplier both will get a communication in this respect. That is, the recipient will get the communication in GST MIS 01 and a supplier will get communication in GST MIS 02. These both are the specific form in which the notice will automatically flow to the supplier as well as the recipient in order to enable themselves to make the necessary rectification and to match the transactions on the GST portal. Friends, supplier will have to make necessary rectification in GSTR 1 and the recipient will have to make necessary correction in form GSTR 3B. Earlier it was form 2, but since now 2 and GSTR 3 is not into force, all the rectification which the recipient will have to do is in form GSTR 3B. That is, he will have to either increase his input tax credit if it is on account of debit note, or if there is any reduction, then it will have to be reduced in form GSTR 3B. Friends, it has been also clarified that rectification by supplier, what types of rectification will be done by the supplier. So supplier will either add the missing invoices which he forgot to account in his monthly outward supplies, or he will correct the details in case if it is wrongly reported. In case of recipient also, if he have claimed the duplicate input tax credit, he has an option to delete a particular transactions and reduce his input tax claim, as well as he can also correct it in next GSTR 3B, that is the monthly return which the recipient is required to file. Friends, Rule 72 says that claim of input tax credit on same invoice, as already discussed, in case if the recipient have claimed input tax credit twicely, that is same invoice has been accounted twicely, then communication in this respect will flow to the recipient in form GST MIS 01. On the basis of that, recipient will have to make the necessary correction in the next return which is going to file. So friends, the crux is that all the input tax credit which the recipient is claiming in his monthly return is only a provisional input tax credit, and it will be finally accepted only at the time of assessment, or in case if it is perfectly matching with the outward supply as declared by the supplier. Otherwise, all the input tax credit which either is not into GSTR 2A or there is no proper evidence shall be subject to scrutiny of the department, and department may raise online notice that is in form GST MIS 01, or may give a so-called notice to justify the claim of input tax credit by the recipient of goods and services. Friends, I hope this video is very informative and useful. Thank you very much for watching my video. Thanks a lot, friends.